Thanks for stopping by the channel and coming back for part 2 of the ER32 Collets. We're going to end up making a mandrel to mount the collets on. So you can see here in the Monarch 10EE, I'm starting to turn a piece of metal there. It's interesting if you look at the color of the chips. It's a mystery metal. I'm guessing it's mandrel, and it's tough. There's shafts, as far as I know, there were shafts out of pumps, water pumps out of a sewage treatment plant. So cutting it away there with carbide, and actually I think that's a recent set of insert lathe tools that I got from Banggood that I'll be doing a review on. So anyway, we're cutting away there, and we'll continue on. Again, thanks for stopping by the channel, and I hope you find this video entertaining and interesting. Bozo came by, Charlie came by, and I think you'll enjoy. Well, Howie hears something out there, and we got to go see what it is. Howie, what? Let's go look. Okay, let's go look, see what it is. Well, I've got the spud turned for the 1-inch 5C collet. Nice fit. So we'll turn it around and make the other side and get the spud ready for the ER32. I've turned the spud to the major diameter, just almost to the major diameter, and now I need to set up the compound to cut the 8-degree angle. But prior to that, I wanted to drill and tap the end of the spud so that I could put a clamp to hold the collet fixture on the spud. So I drilled it, and I was going to tap it here at 1/4-20, and this stuff is just too tough. So I've got another idea that I'm going to do. I'm basically going to drill it and plug it with a softer piece in there that I can drill and tap a thread into that. So that's what I'm going to do next, and then I'll set up to do the angle cut. Sorry for the noise, but here's a quick shot of cutting the taper on the lathe, doing 50 thousandths per pass. Can't remember if I This actually is some new tooling I got from Banggood that I'll be doing a review on, and it's their insert. Okay, bring me back when I get it close to the end there. Well, to bring you up to date on this adventure, you can see I've got the taper cut, and I've been trying to fit the collets, and I think you'll be able to see inside there. Really only getting contact at the very top. I was starting to measure side to side, but then the collet came loose, and of course I'm not getting full bearing. So I'm going to take this spud out of the lathe here and set it up and see on my plate if I have an 8 degree angle. We tested these, and they were reading, and were they reading an 8 degree? I have to go back and look, but that's what I'm going to do. Bring you back. Okay, well, here's the unit set up on the 8 degree on the gauge blocks, and I did miss it. Here we got, let's call it 3/10 for 0. Let's see if I can set that up. Okay, 1 to the high, and we go back here, and there's 1, 2, 2.5 thou that I missed the angle by. So we'll have to continue on and get that corrected so we can actually test the collet. Well, let me make one correction here. I keep saying test the collet, and I mean to be saying collet blocks. Okay, so catch me on that, but whenever I'm saying collets, it's collet blocks. We're not dealing with the collets. So I mentioned I didn't make the 8 degree angle off of the lathe. I didn't set up the lathe with gauge blocks. I just went off the degree on the compound and missed it. So here we're back on the sign plate with the master grind, and I'm grinding the 8 degree taper, which should get it nice and true. Someday I got to put a motor on this guy, make it a lot easier. It's like rubbing your head and jumping up at the same time, or rubbing your head and rubbing your belly, whatever that was. But anyway, the grind's going good, and we'll get it back over to the surface plate and give it a check. Okay, we're fresh off the grinder, and we got 0 right there, and 1/10 over, and we come all the way up top, and got the same reading within a tenth. So the grind worked out nice. It fixed my air that I had off the lathe, and the collet nut. Grab one, or the collet, not the collet nut, but the collet block sits on there really nice right now. So we'll go back to checking it and make a decision. Actually, what I'm planning on doing is making I still got to make an attachment right here, and then take the master grind off the 8.5 degree plate here, and put it back on the surface grinder, and then dust all these so they're 90 degrees to each other, and concentric with the hole, with the tapered bore. So that's coming up. We're over here at the arbor press. Somewhere I had mentioned that this slug was, I couldn't tap it. So I basically drilled it out and made a little plug out of mild steel, and going to press that in, and then I'll have a thread where I can pull the blocks onto this arbor. So I've got a little red Loctite, just cause, just to help it. And got it nice and flat. And now we got a thread to pull the blocks onto the arbor. Well, as you saw, I had the arbor out of the spin fixture here and pressed that piece in the end of it. And when I brought it back, it was basically the best I could get was 4/10 concentricity. So I had to go back to the grinder and got it just around under 1/10 right now. So that's back where it's supposed to be. And we'll continue on. So here's my plan. I just reset this up again. You can see the tablet over there where I had checked all the measurements. So I was just rechecking them again, and I'm getting the same dimensions I got before. So my plan is to put the spin fixture flat, put this guy on the spin fixture, and grind the outside of this block to match the taper. And then we'll see what it does with a collet. Don't know if it'll do it or not. I mean, we still have the problem with collets themselves, but that's the next step is what I'm going to try. Okay, just kind of bringing you up to speed where I'm at here. Got the spin fixture on the granite. I've used a square to square up the side of the block, and then I've been using the 10th indicator here to check it. And you can see I had 2000s written on the top of this block here, and I'm basically getting about 2000s across it. Before I change it much, I was going to go read the other surfaces. Snug it a little more. And that tightened it up a little bit, which is good. Okay. So let me set this guy to 0 in the middle. See if it'll repeat. Okay, it's a good repeat. And let's spin it 90 degrees. Let's see what we get. Okay, it's not touching at all there. And just a flicker of a touch there. Okay, let's go another 90. So that's about 2 thou low. There's it's about 2 thou low on that side compared to the other one. And let's go another 90. And let's see what we get there. So this side's high by about, well, could be as much as 2 thou. There's 3. So I think we'll leave it like that. And I just saw my piece is going to block my grinder. Let me reset this and we'll check again just to make sure. It should be up on the taper, so it shouldn't matter. Okay, changed the end, double checked everything, everything's good. And then I've gone and basically gave myself a little cheat here so I know where I'm at. So that's low, that's high. So we'll start on the high side. We'll probably burn off thou, and then we'll start touching off on the rest of them and get them all the same on the grinder. So off to the grinder. Okay, we're set up on the surface grinder, mags on, wheels been dressed, got a slight touch off. And we'll go ahead and grind this first side here. Okay, little issue there. We're hitting the guard, so let me do some work here. Okay, we're going to have to grind with the guard off of it. Just go back in and double check. I think we moved something. Okay. Hang on, I'm going to come back and touch off. Okay, retouched off and ready to spin the fixture. I did raise the wheel 2 thou in an attempt not to crash in here. So we will see. It appears we're just touching. Well, I thought I'd bring you back some progress. You can see this block is partially ground there. That's the 4th side, and we're currently at 6 thou that I've taken off. And that's really one of the readings I had earlier. I don't know if they correlate, but we're just about getting this thing square, and we'll continue on. Okay, we'll keep going and bring you back. Well, here we are fresh off the grinder. And it looks like I got a variance of worst. Worst is about 5/10. Let me get around the camera. It's consistent. And I kind of noticed something when I was grinding. And maybe I didn't, well, I had to ground enough. So I was talking to my mentor Chewy about this before I started. He says, hey, you got to pick your tolerances. What's acceptable? So I'm catching 0 right on the front here. And as I get to the back, it's anywhere from 3 to 5/10. It's consistent. And I don't know why. Yeah, 0 right there. And gets a little high in the back there. Okay, let me get it off the arbor, and we'll see if I have any success. Okay, probing the front of the bore here with the test indicator, and basically had 0 on here, so I wrote the 0 on top. It's 0 there. So minus 8/10 lower. I'll double check that one just to see. Minus 8/10 lower, minus 3/10 lower, minus 5/10 lower, back to 0. So the I guess I could say the block is a heck of a lot better than what it was. See, actually there now I'm getting 5 under. Chasing tenths, isn't it fun? Now I just touched the gauge. All right, well let me get this thing and we're going to put a pin in it and see where if I've improved it at all. Well, here's the big question, did I fix it? So we're back with the original 5/16 pin and measuring up by the front of the collet here. Basically getting 0 there, pardon my hand, okay. So we're getting 0 and we're on the scale there that's to 5, the black scale. So we'll go this way. And we're plus 2 thou. I think we had that before. She's growing. 4.5 thou. Two and a half thou. and back to 0. So almost acceptable, I guess, you know, for home shop use. A lot of work though to get it to that point. Interesting enough, let's see, on the end of the pin out here, what do we show? Show 0. Yeah, 2000, staying pretty well consistent. This was the high reading. Yeah, 5 thou. I think it was 4. Now and this one was 2, 3. So let's loosen the collet and move it and see what we end up with. So let me get this back to 0. Make sure we're on 0 there. Yep. Okay, so this guy's 0. And okay, I see where I got the collet pointing. So I'm going to leave the collet where it's at. No, I think I'll move the collet. Wait a minute, I didn't have that guy popped into the... Huh, I don't think it was popped into the holder. We got operator error. Oh, let's try that. Charlie, what the hell are you doing, Charlie? Okay. And I'm just giving it a good hand tight. All right, so we got the red X up top again. Let's see if we ended up with the same reading. Not bad, 1.5 from what I had. Yeah, about 2 thou. Yeah, not bad. I'm assuming you guys can see the scale. Wow. Wow. That wasn't bad at all. Hang on, I'm going to shut off the camera and do some more testing here so you guys don't have to sit there and listen to me, but I think it's actually turned out pretty good. Okay, we're going to change scale here. I don't know if I'm blocking. I'm going to come in from the other way. This test is really showing some pretty damn good results. It's scary. So let's get a read on the pin. We're on the red scale there now, which is reading in tenths. So in thous. So 10 is 1 thou. Okay. So this is reading 1/2 thou under from that first one. 2/10 above 0. So we're 5, 6, 7, 7/10 above 0. Two-tenths under 0. And back to the 5/10. So we were talking thousandths before, and it appears that yeah, we're getting a good read even out farther on the pin. So I'm going to undo the pin again and spin it. Okay, I've spun the pin. Collet's loose. Collet's going back in. Give it the old tighten up. See if it even reads anywhere close back to 0. 5/10 off of that 0. Couple tenths above 0. Back up there where we had the other one. Yeah, reading about the same. About 7/10 above 0. And about 2/10 below 0. Let me stop the camera. I'm going to set up, put just a different collet in with a different pin and see what we get. Okay, 1/2-inch pin, and just for the giggles, I ended up using a different nut on the block here, because I had the hex in the square, so I took the other nut. Let's see what we get. Call that 0. Whoa, that one pegged. So that's over 2 thou. Stop there. Over 2 thou. Thou. Okay, let's make sure we're getting good seat here. Reach around the camera. Okay, well, where'd you guys go? Come on. Okay, let's try it again. 0. Thou and a half. Thou and a half. Six tenths. Back to 0. Well, that's 2 tests, and I guess I'm going to have to actually claim it a success for home shop tolerances, definitely. I'm not going to go through and check every collet. Sorry about that, guys. But these are basically in spec now for home shop use. So got to thank a couple of fellows out there, Gary Brown and Shark Bits, Steve Lang, who both suggested creating the arbor in the lathe so that I could actually turn the outside of the unit, or grind the outside of the unit to match the bore. And I think we got a winner. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, part 2 of the Banggood blocks. Off camera, I'm going to go ahead and grind the hex block, and hoping and assuming I'd have very similar success. So again, you know, Banggood products, they are what they are. But I think I've got this one at least within a home shop spec. All right, take care. If you enjoyed, please come back, hit the subscribe button, share the video, and hit the like. Appreciate it. Take care.